All right, listen to this one. All right, listen to this one. You're gonna love this. All right, you're gonna love this. Fire demon poltergeist. All right, domestic drama. Doctor with husband and wife getting jealous. All right, spontaneous combustions. Yeah. Sure. Why don't you set it in Kiev too? Genius, genius. See, that's why I love you, man. That's why I love you. What's going on, guys? Welcome to 31 Days of Horror. I am Morgan Film Fan. Let's jump into some scares. While We Sleep is a 2022 film that was directed by a guy named Andrzej Sekula, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, and written by two guys, one being one of the actors in the film named Brian Gross. Now, I am pretty sure this film was written by at least one seemingly American. I'm guessing the other one was, and Andrzej is a Polish guy. And this film apparently takes place in Kiev, Ukraine, for the whole time, even though most of it is in English and most of it takes place around an American family. Now, every once in a while, a film like this comes out that has a great trailer or a great poster, and you're wondering where all the buzz is about it and why you haven't heard about it before like a certain time kind of thing. And this is one of those films where I was basically sold with the poster, and it looked really cool, but as soon as I put it on, usually these films, they have one or two problems. A, the people in the production kind of thing get mismatched, and the whole writing process and producing process and directing process feels like a bunch of movies in one, and kind of a mesh of like a giant kerfuffle of ideas, which usually messes the movie up. Or two, the marketing uh, company kind of thing, the marketing behind the film just sucks ass, basically. So it's either one of those two problems, and that doesn't necessarily mean that the film will be bad, but more times than not, usually it's a miss. However, sometimes you can find a hidden gem that had production problems, or just the marketing sucks for it, and it just ends up just being a hidden gem. But this film was not one of those films. This is one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life, and it's to the point where it's offensively bad. So what we have going on here is we have this family at the beginning of the film that's living in Kiev, Ukraine, but everybody's speaking English, so it was kind of confusing. And they're celebrating this birthday party for this little girl named Cora. Now, Cora, first of all, the film opens up with an introduction talking about this guy that basically suffered spontaneous combustion, which you assume is going to play into the movie later, but it doesn't play until like the third act, and it's so ridiculous how it comes in. But this little girl, after her birthday party, she breathes in like a little spark of fire into her mouth, and you're thinking, "Wow, this is going to play into the combustion thing." After that, she starts getting like haunted by this like fire demon, and these like fire elements start playing around the house, and poltergeists start happening, and she starts having like sleeping problems and stuff like that. So when she goes to the hospital, this nurse gives her an MRI and brain scan and all that, and basically tests her for sleep and stuff like that. And she's sent home again. Randomly, they decide to throw in this story of a woman jumping and this little girl witnessing this woman jump off a roof, like committing suicide. And that comes out of nowhere. So this nurse that took the CAT scan or the MRI, the brain scan, decides to do home therapy basically, because she claims that that helps a lot better than doing it at the hospital, because she's found that it's more effective. Now, you start to see that this nurse has had like has interior motives. She doesn't seem like she's a trustworthy person. She seems a little bit villainous kind of thing. And she starts to kind of push her way into the family, which starts to leave me confused already because I thought this was an exorcism film, and it is for the most part. But then it just turns into this like melodrama with the family and a whole domestic thing, and the husband starts to spend too much time with this doctor, and the wife is getting jealous, and there's a reveal that Cora is not the biological daughter of the dad, and then the woman who's supposed to be monitoring the daughter at home doing this home remedy, the doctor, ends up falling asleep, and then the little girl goes into a sleepwalking mode and into the pool and almost drowns. So they kick the doctor out, saying like, get the fuck out. The doctor steals some drawings from the little girl for no reasons explained. They're just drawings of faces. She goes home. She runs into this strange man who looks like a Russian mob boss, basically. And then this Russian mob boss looking guy follows this doctor home, breaks into her house saying, I gotta help you, I gotta help you. And then he says he's a priest, and he looks like the most, like, last thing you would expect a priest to look like kind of thing. I liked the actor, I liked his persona and how he looked and everything, but basically he was just this like British badass, like you would expect like Luke Goss to be, or like a poor man's Jason Statham, but apparently a priest. It was really weird. And then this priest has a history, and that's where the whole spontaneous combustion comes in, because he was treating this guy and trying to exorcise this guy, and now the same demon is in this girl. And this film is just directed like shit. It looks nice, but it just is a hole in the head to watch, and it is the most generic and offensively basic exorcism film I've ever seen. Ever. Like Wild Eye stuff, all the Amityville shit, they're all better than this film when it comes to generic exorcism films. The whole like, what do you call it? The contortions, is that it? The contortions of the little girl when she's coming out of bed, it's all CGI. It looks like shit. It looks ridiculous. It looks like an absolute joke. I just can't believe such a high budgeted film would be like this. And I thought it was a translation problem. By the way, there is some Ukrainian in this film, and it's not subtitled, and there's no subtitles available. I even checked on Tubi, and it's the exact same thing. So is it the DVD or the production company? I don't know. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. But they subtitle, if you want to, the English parts, but they won't subtitle the Ukrainian parts. So who the fuck is this being marketed to? Because if it's being marketed to an English-speaking audience, then you want to subtitle the Ukrainian. If it's being marketed to a Ukrainian audience, you would think that they'd leave the Ukrainian without subtitles, but subtitle the English in Ukrainian. So I don't understand who this is being marketed to. It's the dumbest decision in the world to have like 20% of this movie in Ukrainian, including the final line. So the final thing that the doctor says in like the final line of the movie is in Ukrainian. And I don't know like what the last 5 minutes, what was going on with this fucking film. Like it frustrated the hell out of me, and I'm trying to remain my composure right now. But when it comes to the film, this fucking generic, and you know, it's the worst film probably that I've ever seen in the last decade, because I got through the entire thing, because I would have shut it off otherwise. If it wasn't for 31 Days of Horror, I wouldn't have even bothered with this film. And then there's this graveyard scene where the priest is like digging a grave trying to find the bones of the guy who spontaneously combusted with the woman, and the woman is back at the house, by the way, the doctor, like 2 minutes after she's kicked out. It's so stupid. And just the directions and the writing and the plot points, like I said, I didn't know if it was a translation problem because Brian Gross wrote it and then it's directed by a Polish guy and conflicting ideas. That must have been it. But even that is forgivable if the film wasn't so damn generic. I don't know. This film doesn't deserve any more credit. I don't even want to talk about this piece of shit anymore. It's a half star, but I would even give it 0 because it's a half only because I finished it. So I can't give a film that I finished 0 out of 100. It's 1 out of 100, I guess, or 0.5 out of 100. I don't trash cinema on this channel. I really don't, but this one frustrated the shit out of me, and I just cannot recommend it. Don't even watch it for free. I mean, if you really want to see how bad it is, I can't stop you, but this film sucks. Subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like to listen to my voice or if you like my film reviews, and I'm sorry for this rant. This is not like me on this channel, because I don't shit on movies at all. If I don't like a film, I won't review the film. But it's 31 Days of Horror, so I have to review the film. My only other option would be to shut it off and go find some other movie or something. But anyways, subscribe if you like. Check out what's on the channel already. Stay tuned for what's coming. Hopefully tomorrow's movie will be better. I'm pretty sure anything will be better than this. And until next time, take care and cheers.